like never before. Family lawyer Cassandra Kalpaxis says she's seen an influx of people wanting to amicably sort through issues that arose during lockdown rather than heading down the path of separation. This is super interesting. Can't wait to delve into this further. Cassandra joins me now for more. Cassandra, lovely to have your company. Now, what is marriage mediation?
Thank you for having me. Well, marriage mediation is a process whereby people who are in a relationship, generally in their first year, are experiencing difficulty and they really want to be able to resolve their conflict instead of separating. So they come into a process of mediation where we can try and resolve that dispute in a way that allows them to stay together instead of separating.
Well, this is really good news, and I'm actually so happy to hear this, that people are wanting to work through things. Too often we hear about people getting divorced. I'm not sure what the stats are. It gets shocking, like 1 in 3 or something crazy like that. So it's really good to be able to, that people are actually working through things. What did the pandemic do? What are you seeing for couples during the pandemic? I mean, for me, I just heard that it either cemented that you want to be with someone or completely confirmed that you don't want to be with them at all.
I think you've adequately addressed that. So essentially we're seeing that really interesting trend where a lot of people are realizing it's time to jump out of that marriage because they were so unfulfilled, and they've realized by spending that further additional time with their partner during the pandemic that it's really time to go. Or conversely, the period of time that they've been able to spend uninterrupted by the usual things that we have in life impacting on our relationships have cemented their desire to stay together, and they've really come together to be able to recognise that they're committed to resolving their conflict and are willing to be able to go this resolution-based process to do that.
It's really interesting, isn't it? And I'm probably being a bit nosy here, but what are people coming to you with? What are people struggling with in couples at the moment? What's standing out to you the most?
The thing that is always present in every mediation that I do is communication. It's either a lack of, or there's some confusion along the lines about what someone's trying to say and what the other person is hearing. So in every marriage, and for those of us who are married, we know how important communication is. And that's really the common theme that we're seeing across the board, really. And then there are a number of other little issues that travel along, particularly parents who have different parenting styles and want to be able to resolve those issues. And that's a really common theme that we see. Finances is always something that's really quite common that we see in marriage mediation as well.
Now, can you just walk us through the process? What's it actually like for you? Like, what's a typical session like with a couple? What sort of things do you talk about?
So it might be the case that a couple wants to be able to do this in conjunction with couples therapy, for example. So we might have the benefit of a therapist sitting in with us, being able to give some feedback on their sessions with the couple as a whole, to be able to provide that psychological perspective to a problem that they're having. And then for me as the mediator, being able to take that information and really trying to get the couple to get on the same page about how we resolve that dispute and getting them to do the work. That's the most important thing. If we want agreements that people are going to stick to when they walk out the door, and that is best met by couples who are going through the process of engaging in that level of communication and coming up with the ideas themselves in a supported environment, when all of those issues are addressed either by way of the marriage therapist being in the room or them having done that before they come to see me.
Remarkable stuff. Good on you. Thanks for coming on to talk about this.
Thank you so much for having me.